Mawatao, good morning, and how are you, faithful? Captain Niner coming to you with your captain and coffee report for November 20th, 2025. All right, let's get into it. Not a whole lot going on today in the world, and a little bit of a surprise move. The Niners picked up kicker Matt Gay, who was playing with the Washington Commanders, and he was 13 of 19 with field goals attempts, so he wasn't really all that great. But with his point afters, he was 100%. So, like I said, 13 of 19, 68%. I mean, we're basically got Jake Moody back to an extent. I mean, the only thing I can think of is that all we want this guy to do is to kick point afters and expect a lot more punting and going for it on third downs or on fourth downs in situations where we would have just trotted Eddie P out there. Beyond the 50, he's absolutely terrible for the most part, but he's more accurate inside the 50. So even then, that brings him down to almost like not as bad as Robbie Gould got at the end when he was down to like 40 yards and in. But I mean, that does limit him to an extent. So again, I don't understand why we didn't get someone like Anderson Carlson, who was available and tried out for us as well. Don't understand this one. I truly don't. So, but yeah, welcome to the team, Matt Gay, and then we'll see how you do, buddy. Obviously filling in for Eddie P for a few weeks. So get well, Eddie. Let's go back to him, hopefully. All right, in the NFL.com, in their broadcasters and everything like that, this is their picks. Obviously, only Daniel Jeremiah, as you can see, is picking the Panthers. Everybody has us picked. And a lot of these guys are pushing it to be a pretty close game between the two teams, which I think it's going to be closer. I think, if anything, if I had to pick one of these numbers, I look at it as it's going to be somewhere in this 27-19, like MJD. I think it's going to be somewhere in that area for us to win. We're going to have to get closer to 30 points, honestly. Probably the 30, actually, now that I look at it, probably the 31-20. We need to score at least 30 points with how our defense is. So we need to get something up there in the 30-ish area. So, yeah, everybody, we are obviously the favorite for the next few weeks with who we play in. So there is that one. And last but not least, once again, the 49ers legend Roger Craig is up to be inducted into the Hall of Fame, which is long overdue. I've been saying it for probably the last 10 years or so. I've been banging the table for Roger Craig as much as I can. It's a travesty that the man is not in the Hall of Fame. I understand that part of them doesn't want him in the Hall of Fame because there's just a bunch of Niners in the Hall of Fame already, but that's not his fault. Again, that's not his fault that he comes from a dominant team. It's the first 1,000-yard runner, just the original, dual threat running back, was 3-time Super Bowl champion. How is this man not in the Hall of Fame? And the only excuse I can find from anybody is that there's already so many Niners that are in the Hall of Fame. They just didn't want to overpopulate it. Well, that's not his fault. That's not the Niners' fault. The man deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. So we'll see. He is now down to one of the final 9 of the 3 who were basically going to put in by basically, like, you can consider it like the veteran committee, basically. So, yeah, hopefully Roger Craig finally gets in because, again, it is a travesty. And honestly, to me, the Hall of Fame is a sham until the man gets in. Now, obviously, there's guys from other teams and stuff like that aren't in. I'm banging the table for Roger Craig simply because he's part of the 49ers, which obviously is the team that we root for. But sometimes the Hall makes weird decisions on who it lets out and who it lets in. And like I said, to me, this is the biggest travesty out of all of them, I think. You have a guy who's won multiple Super Bowls, gone 1,000 stuff, just one of the original dual threat guys. So, I mean, yeah, Roger Craig needs to be in the Hall of Fame. That's all I've got for you folks today. Wrong one. There will be no other Niner Faithful Radio things going on today, as of right now. Obviously, if something big breaks, we'll jump on that. But we will be on tomorrow evening at 6 o'clock as we do the week in review and looking over everything that has happened this week leading up to the Panthers game on Monday night. So until then, everybody, Fatah, Talava, go kick Thursday's ass. Deuces.